Hiya guys, good morning. So yesterday everything just felt so wrong. It was just totally beyond language, totally beyond vocabulary. There's just no way to vocalize it. I know a few other people, very highly awakened people, are picking up on it as well. And everybody else is oblivious, which really makes it even stranger, because it really is so palpable. And I had to go down to the Ridgeway yesterday, which is a street near me, which is kind of like a small local shopping precinct type of thing. I had to get some stuff there from the Whole Foods shop. And I was just looking around and it was all really fugue and tumbleweed-esque, as I call that. Everybody's just completely... It was all Truman Show, is what it was, basically. It was fucking Truman Show, man. And there were people in the nail bars watching the TV screen, and there's people in the barbers watching the TV screen. Everywhere you go now, they have a TV screen. And the TV is on 24/7. It's really weird. It's like there's TV screens everywhere, and they're on 24/7. And they're spouting out the same old shit. There's like, in England, we have this program, they're called that for a reason. It's called the Antiques Roadshow, and you get all these NPCs who are, these chuckle-headed, toe-the-line eager beavers, like, I've got this watch and it's really old, and it's like, and then you've got another one of these programs where it's like, buy a house in the country, and you get this NPC upper middle class couple looking at all these houses in the country that they're going to buy, and they never actually buy a house at all. It always ends with, whatever. It's these types of programs, reinforcing mundane reality, making it look, to all intents and purposes, as if mundane reality is this desirable state of being, as if it is wonderful. It's wonderful, look at it. Oh, it's just so amazing. Whilst they're plodding through rubbish strewn everywhere that nobody picks up. Right, in this country we pay a thing called council tax, by the way. It's on top of all the other taxes that we pay. We pay VAT on everything we buy. We pay income tax. Then we also pay council tax, which is supposedly going to the collection of rubbish and the clearing up of our streets. Well, they don't collect the rubbish and they don't clear up our streets. They collect our rubbish now twice a month. And there's rubbish literally everywhere. It's like I'm living on a giant rubbish tip. It's appalling. It really is just daylight robbery. They're just taking money off people under the auspices of providing a service which they then basically don't provide. And the top people in Plymouth City Council are living in massive mansions with 6 bathrooms. I kid you not. So we know damn well where that money is going. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, it sort of is, but that's what mundane reality is. It's a parasite feeding fest. They're all there like that, and the oblivious ones are just shuffling around. Everybody is sick. I mean, you go to the chemist and it's absolutely full of people. Oh, it's going to be 2 days before we can process your medication, because everybody's fucking sick and everybody's going to their GP to get their fucking poison, which is killing them. The antibiotics, the painkillers, all of it is killing people. But if you have an infection, what do you do? Where do you go? What do you do? Right? It's a nightmare. Because invariably, this is what I have found, and I know other people have found it to be so too. Not only do the mainstream big pharma medications no longer work, they actually actively poison us, make us sick and kill us, but natural remedies no longer work either. They just don't work. Nothing fucking works at all. It's interesting because one of my subscribers, you know who you are, my darling, is very sick with diverticulitis. And another one of my subscriber friends got in touch with me yesterday and told me that she ended up in hospital with exactly the same condition, diverticulitis. It was an absolute agony, right? Now, this is all about the digestive system. The gut, the colon, all of that. Your bladder, often enough, I reckon, is involved as well. And I've had similar problems for about 11 years. And this, I feel, is connected to implant removal, definitely. And because there is a massive shift going on. And this is a shift removing all the dark, twisted, gaslighty programming that is keeping us trapped in this reality. Because mundane reality and how it is advertised every day as being this wonderful place where, oh, it's full of opportunities and full of, you know, it's amazing. In fact, a neighbour of mine who's going through a really tough time and has major mental health issues was given this leaflet by her doctor to go to his place nearby, the Sunshine Centre or some such thing, you know, and she went there and she was given a pack, you know, they have these information packs with what sort of services they provide, and it was all an absolute shitload of asinine, gaslighty fucking nonsense. I couldn't believe it. It was like, wow. She's sort of sus. She's not awake, but she's not entirely asleep either, and she sort of saw through all that, you know. Really bad, just bad shit. Getting people to, in this warped way, whilst pretending to empower people, actually getting them to subjugate themselves and to accept shit from everybody, you know. How good it is to be good to people and to be nice and to accept everybody as they are and to be tolerant with everything and everyone and that sort of shit. You know, but I know damn well that we shouldn't fucking tolerate nearly anything that's happening. Then I went online and there is a woman, an astrologer that I listen to occasionally and find some pearls, as in that which resonates with me that I already know for myself. So it's kind of like a validation thing. That's what it's like when you find pearls. It's like a validation of something that you basically already knew but may have forgotten temporarily, and it brings it back into focus. That's what it is to find pearls. The rest of the info I just toss aside. And it's like, in the comments section, there's just a shitload of people who haven't got a fucking clue. This is a guy going, oh yeah, times are so intense and I applied for a job and I'm just waiting to hear back now. So I'm manifesting employment whilst loving everything and everyone. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, man. And oh, the rage came back in such a big way. I thought, I want to know where you live so I can come around there and, you know, knowing full well that that's not really his fault, that's just where he's at. If he's a souled human being, eventually he will wake up to the fact that he's been fucked in a massive way all his life, and that employment is slavery and abuse, because it is, right? And to love everybody without discernment is a fucking stupid fucking thing to do. I'm not advocating hatred, by the way, people. I'm not saying that we should go out there and actively hate people and attack people and harm people. I'm not saying that at all. I never have and I never will, because I don't feel that way and I don't think that way. But I do believe that high levels of discernment, ultimate levels of discernment, are ultimately necessary in this place, because we are surrounded by non-souled beings that can, like in the Matrix, they can have a download. This is, some people call it walk-ins, call it what you will. To me, NPCs are neither here nor there. They're like the cardboard cutout people. They can be quite pleasant. They can be quite unpleasant. I, on the whole, have not really ever had a massive problem with them. I don't look at it that way, because if we want to trust and believe that we are powerful created beings, then there is no need for us to fear these creatures. Ergo, there's also no need for all this hatred towards them, because the only reason that we feel hatred towards something is generally because we kind of fear it. You know, that's really what that is all about. You know, like that guy with his fucking, oh, you know, I'm manifesting employment and stuff. And the reason that I hate that is because that reminds me of a part of my shadow that's still in there, still wanting to toe the line, still wanting to keep his head down. And it makes me feel incredible rage, because I know full well what they've done to us, and that there is a component of fear there as well, like, oh my god, we'll ever get out of here. See, so hence that rage. Everything is always connected, emotions, nuances of this experience, you know. And if we continue to take it back inside within us, it will help us to uncover what is still there, what is still keeping us trapped energetically, that needs to be healed and resolved, you know. But where was I? Yeah, I mean, so I was just there, and it was like that real Truman Show type of scenario, because the whole world is going on as if everything is fine. But there's the soul travelers who know damn well that it is anything but fine, that it is the exact opposite. It is a horrific, disgusting nightmare. It's an abomination, is what this place is. Everywhere. Look, people look distorted. People are all like, people look, quite honestly, distorted. My friend, he was waiting in the car for me, and I came back, he goes, man, I just saw the kids coming out of the school, they're fucking ugly. And I was like, yeah. They've all been vaccinated, but it's more than that. It's more than that. It's as if we're dealing with an influx of NPCs. It's like what I said the other day. We're told that the world population is up to 8 billion now. The scientists and the experts tell us this, right? But people actually reproduce a lot less than they used to. The Victorians, the Edwardians, and before that, people used to reproduce a lot. People used to have 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. That was very normal. In fact, the working classes used to have even more. It's amazing how the poor always have shitloads of children. It's like, why? You can't afford to keep them. You can't afford to feed them. But they just breed indiscriminately, and they do still in very poor places, like in Africa, like in India. They're very ignorant, and they just breed to have children because these children grow up and supposed to look after their parents. Do you know what I mean? It's all really messed up. But at any rate, the world population nevertheless should have gone down considerably. Should have, but it isn't, supposedly. And I reckon this is because the world's been pumped full of NPCs, literally, these empty vessels with their airplane lounge reality, with their pizza outlets, with their cinema complexes, with their McDonald's, and with their Costa coffees, and with their fucking, you know, there's these furniture shops, stores everywhere. It's all corporate, everything is all corporate. And individual little shops, individual people doing something, increasingly are out of the game because the rates are so high. They just can't afford to do it. They can't afford to rent the properties. They can't afford to pay the taxes. So they're out. So it's a massive corporate takeover. And the NPCs are just there. Now, in and of itself, these people, I feel, are neither here nor there. But of course they are of this reality. This is their world. They love all the corporate shit. They don't have any awareness. They're just an algorithm, really. But every now and then, us soul travelers will be confronted by a walk-in, and that's when it can get really malevolent. That's when it is like, well, personal. Definitely. That's happened to me a couple of times. Literally, where somebody walked past me and all of a sudden just looked at me like that, really looked at me and gave me a really dirty, nasty, malevolent stare, and I could feel the energy, and it's been like, whoa. But at the same time, I sense strongly that they can't really harm me. They've tried, but it hasn't worked out, you know, it hasn't really worked out. But yeah, the Truman Show, I was there and I was like, wow, everybody just glued to the television screen, everybody just like, watching these horrific television series, you know, these utter dross, bullshitty, brain bludgeoning fucking things. And I thought, I need to go home and watch the Truman Show again. So I did. I watched the Truman Show. I really paid attention again. I mean, I've watched that film many times anyway, but, you know, it's been a while since I watched it. Really paid attention. And I thought, yeah, that's about right. You know, everybody around him just pretends this is real and it's wonderful and oh, you're so happy, but it's all about trauma-based mind control, really, because they made him have this fake experience where his dad fell overboard out of a boat and drowned, to give him a fear of water, because he's living on this island, supposedly, right? He's living on this island, and it stops him from leaving. So I thought that was very pertinent in and of itself, because what is this realm? What is it? Well, it's trauma-based mind control, trauma-based mind patterning, trauma-based consciousness hijack. It's all about the trauma causes the great fear, it causes the rage, it causes all kinds of stuff, but the biggest component of the trauma-based mind control, I feel, behaviorally speaking, is fear. It keeps us compliant until it doesn't. That's when we feel the rage. But somehow, the trauma-based mind control is instrumental in keeping us imprisoned in this reality. It keeps us from it stops us from going across the water. In the end, of course, he does, because he awakens and he realizes. It's like when he goes into that elevator and it opens and there's a whole set, you know, of people having their lunch, and they're basically there on the set of the show, which is the Truman Show, and he's like, what the fuck? And these two guys come out of nowhere, they grab him under his arms and they just drag him away, and he's like, what? Well, we have eureka moments like that. I had one of those yesterday. They're invariably overwhelming yet subtle, and you can't really put them into words. You know, you feel it more than anything else. It's pure gnosis. It's a deep feeling. It's like, whoa, wow, man, look at that, look at this, look at, wow, what the fuck, what? And you just know that you're full of life and they're not, they're dead, they're not real, none of it is. And that dog and pony show, it just goes on and on and on. Mundane reality it seems so persistent, it seems like, and then you get, because your own mundane reality programming is still there, it still pipes up, oh, this is all there is, this is all there is, this is all there is. You'll never get out, you'll never get out. It's funny because I had a dream last night, and in my dream I was on this bridge and I was looking down at the water, and I had a dentist appointment, and there's all these people saying, why don't you just jump in the water, and I was looking down and I was saying, well, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit low down. First I have to go and see the dentist. So I went to see the dentist, and that was all just bad and wrong in my dream, and it was like, what the fuck? And then I was back on the bridge again, and then I walked around and I just sat by the waterside, and the whole sort of scene just changed. There was sunlight, and the river was just this, not instead of this dirty snake, it was beautiful, and it was like that. And then that song by Tracy Chapman played in my head, you know, don't you know, talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper, over and over again. And it was like, yeah, right, that's what this is. The river, the great river. The great river is like a symbol for me anyway, of truth, of the energetic resonance of us. Our river, our internal river has been so polluted, but it's being cleaned up. And that is what the revolution is all about, because everything that has kept us trapped in this mundane reality, this trauma-based hijack, is being cleared out. It's being transmuted and harmonized. I know it's happening. And this is why many of us feel like we're kind of almost like under attack at the moment. I mean, I woke up this morning with this big cut on my arm, bleeding. Absolutely no idea how that happened. It wasn't the cats. Then I was sitting on the sofa, I was having my morning coffee, and I went to get up, and you know, I put my hands on the armrest, and it missed, and I just fell over to the side. There's all kinds of weird shit happening. I've loads of stuff's broken, like cups falling out of my hands. Just everything is utterly just all wrong, very wrong. And for those of us who are truly awake, we are experiencing that right now. It's as if it does feel like psychic attack. It's just like it knows that perhaps we are very well on our way to exit now, and it doesn't like that. It doesn't want us leaving. The virus doesn't want us leaving, and that virus lives in us as well. So there's a lot of stuff coming up now, a lot of purging going on. Yeah. But you know, it's like when he decides that he's going to go, and they send his friends in, you know, he's actually managed to escape as Truman. They sent his friend in with his pack of beers, you know. Oh, I've got a 6-pack of brewskis for you, you know. And I mean, this is what I mean. These people that are supposedly your friends, but they're not really your friends, you know. And you're busy escaping. You're busy getting out of this matrix. And shit will happen to distract you and try and lure you back in. It's really incredible. It doesn't work anymore, obviously, because it's like, well, I don't want that. No, I don't want that. No, I don't care about that. No, I don't care about you. No, I don't want this. Take it away, take it away, take it away. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I don't want it. I just want out now. And then he's in the boat. And that scumbag up in that moon, right? Because that's mission control of the whole Truman Show, and it's up in the fake moon, which is a very, very good analogy if you think about it, because of course the moon is fake. It's not real. It's completely fake. So he's up there and it's mission control. Makes you think, actually. Oh, bring on the storm. Yeah. Because I want to kill him, because he's leaving. So Christoph, who is the director, is a complete psychopath. Oh, it's the first time a corporation has adopted a baby. Completely evil. And it completely mind-controlled him and gaslit Truman to the extent that, oh, he'll stay there forever. He'll just live his entire life in the show. But no, things did not go according to plan, because he awoke. And he saw that his wife was a complete evil, scummy NPC bitch. Drink more cocoa! Wow. And they gaslit him into marrying her and spending his life with her, and his mother is in on it, and his father is just like, then people come in and his father comes back trying to wake him up, and the woman that he fell in love with, that was surreptitiously taken off the show because, oh, I'm not supposed to speak to you, Truman, before she takes him to the beach. She's on his side, as well. And she's like, wow, he's finally leaving, and he's got in a boat, and here he is, and they're trying to kill him. You know, weather manipulation, they're trying to kill him. Snow, storms, and whatever. It's actually not a snowstorm, but it's a massive, big fucking tidal wave that they may come across him. Like, boom. And, but he survives it. He survives it all. Because he just never gives up, you see. He never gives up. He's that focused and determined that he is going to leave. And then, finally, the boat just goes boom. Because it's hit the wall. That's the end of the Matrix. Or maybe the wall of the flat earth, right? I mean, there's so much in that film that is just, wow. And again, I don't take it verbatim, because I sometimes think everyone wants to think the earth is flat. It may be true, it may not be true. I couldn't possibly say, I can't prove it, I don't know. But it is interesting that at the end, the boat just goes into the wall. And then he goes up the steps. And then he hears the great big voice of Christoph coming out of the sky, you know, saying, well, why don't you just stay? Life is safe. It's so much worse on the outside. Why don't you just stay in Sea Haven? Everything is perfect and you will never be in danger. Which is actually not an analogy for this fucking Matrix, because we're continually in danger. Of course. Especially soul travelers. It's like I said in my other video, we don't tend to thrive, not really. Something here doesn't like us and it doesn't want us to thrive. And it traumatizes the fuck out of us from the get-go, so that, you know, we don't. But, and again, that sounds really victim-y, and that sounds somewhat spineless and weak. I do realise that. I know what they say in this world. Oh, it doesn't matter what's happened to you. It doesn't matter what you've been through. You know, my father raped me every night from when I was 1 year old, but I still went on to achieve. So if I did it, you can do it. You just have to do it and get on with it. And it's all the usual platitude bollocks. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, yeah, you may have gone on to achieve, but you're a horror of a human being. And, well, it's that same thing again. It's like, no matter how traumatized you are, no matter how broken you are, no matter how much pain you are, you're just supposed to keep going. Because the only good person is a person who has money and status and who has achieved something and who has ambition. But if you're too traumatized, messed up, to have been able to do that, you're considered to be weak and worthless, and society kicks you to the curb. So many people fall through the cracks because of that. So many people. Because we live in a really brutal, really callous, cruel fucking society. It's absolutely appalling. It's horrendous. So, you know, he's like saying to Truman, well, just go back to Sea Haven and live your life there, because you'll always be safe. And to an extent, of course, that's true. Because the massive brutality of the world, in many ways, wasn't present in Truman's life. He was, in a sense, always safe. Because, well, without him there wouldn't be a Truman Show, would there? So a massive amount of energy is invested in him. And that brings me to something I thought I had about that. And I thought, you know, without us there wouldn't be a Matrix, because this world is not real. I feel that more now than ever before. It just isn't fucking real. And I mean that literally, people. This is a world created through us, using our consciousness literally against us. Because all that trauma in us, all that hate and all that rage and all this compliance, right? Deep down, as soul travelers, we know it's all wrong. That's why we have all the hate and all the rage and all that vengeance. That's what all comes up in the awakening. It's all like, it's there, repressed. It comes out here and there. But it really comes up in great big ways when you awaken to what this place is. But this place exists because the virus, the consciousness pathogen, manifests it through us somehow. So it's like This is what we experience. This is what we see, you know? I can't really put that into words very well, but I sense on a very deep level that this is true. And so it doesn't want us to exit the matrix, and the only way we exit the matrix is through our within. It's clearing out all the programs, the victimhood program, the I am powerless program, the grief, all the I'm at war with everybody, you are all doing it to me, and I'm going to destroy you, and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to have my vengeance program. All of this keeps us trapped in the matrix. All of it really, really does. I know that. And there's a massive shift happening now. Big, very big. So temporarily we'll find ourselves in any one of these states, or all of them at the same time, in a really just state of distortion. Very volatile, very volatile. And only a few of us really get it and really notice it. But whatever is happening right now, if we walk the true path, it will set us free. See? Same old shit. Fucking car with this fucking music in, and it's like, yeah. But they just love it, don't they? They just do. But you see, NPCs don't have consciousness, people. It's just an algorithmic thing. It's a hive thing, whatever you want to call it. It's only when we get the walk-in type phenomenon that's slightly different. Because, of course, just like Christoph kept Truman stuck in Sea Haven, which was under a dome, haha, something wanted to keep us trapped here as well. And our proverbial Christoph is the consciousness pathogen. But then again, just like in Star Wars, oh, did you notice this? I got it in the charity shop the other day. But there are many, many players. You know, the Matrix isn't just Earth and us and the animals and nature. It's much bigger than that. There are many players, and what I feel to be the case is that there are dark forces that want to keep humanity, that is the soul travelers, trapped in this fake reality. They really do. They want that. We probably are some sort of battery source for them. The virus infected, you know, multiverse, basically. And it's stories, you know. It's a big story of different dimensions and different worlds and different peoples and whatever. Some are good, some are bad, and there's everything in between, but there's a great deal of darkness and a great deal of distortion and a great deal of evil being done here. So when we talk about reset, when I talk about reset, when I talk about exiting the matrix, I'm talking about this entire shit show being sorted out, which would mean that we finally find out the truth about what we are, about why we're here, and that we're not alone, that there are many people on other dimensions, on other timelines, on other planes and whatnot, that similarly to us have also been going through this. It's not just this tiny little narrow bandwidth where it's just about us and that's it. It's much bigger than that. I really feel that. And it's interesting because he goes into the wall, and then he has to walk along, doesn't he? Along the ridge, he has to walk along, and then all of a sudden there's stairs. An elevation, gnosis, which is all about the revealing, because there's a door. The door opens. He opens it, I think. So he goes up the stairs. He gains clarity. He gains understanding. Things are revealed to him as he opens the door, and he's able to step out into the unknown. And that, I think, is what it's all about, people. We are going to step into the unknown. Well, for those of us who do the work, for those of us who are ready, to make that choice. And of course, the choice you make is love. You choose love. Because that is the great unknown for us. We haven't known love. We haven't known what love is, what it does, where it might take us. We've known a great deal of abuse and brutality, and we've known how we react to that. We know that state of consciousness. And like I said in my last video, I'm done with that. I'm not fighting that war anymore. I'm finished with it. So whatever feelings I get, I will sit with those feelings and I will allow them to be, because every single feeling that I have is relevant and is important, and I will allow them to be, but I will not embody them anymore and act them out, because that always works out detrimental to me. So that's not what I do anymore. I allow my feelings to be. I allow them to come up. Whatever hate or rage or overwhelming sense of victimhood, which is all relevant, it's all true, it was done to us. But the reset lies now in allowing that all to come up and pass, come up and pass. We're not repressing it by doing that, we're just allowing it to be alchemized, to be transmuted. And more I feel this sense of power, you know, this sense of bzzz. Because to choose love in the face of all this insanity and evil does seem counterintuitive. A lot of people think of love, they don't understand love at all. They think that it means you're going to lie down and be a doormat, you're going to lie and let evil win. It's not like that at all. I'm simply no longer butting heads with it. I'm no longer allowing myself to get entangled in evil. Because evil wants you to stay trapped in that cycle, in that perpetual cycle of doing business in a way. Evil does this to you, and you're there, you fucker, right? So you're forever stuck in that paradigm of reactivity. And that is exactly what the consciousness pathogen wants. It wants you to stay stuck there because it wants to be in control, and it wants to use your consciousness to create its desired reality, which is what the Matrix is. I really feel that. See? It's all the self-sabotage and all the self-hate made manifest and projected outwards as well. There's a lot going on, and it will take great courage and integrity to own it, people. You know, it's the only way. It's the only way, because ultimately, yes, we are powerful. We are powerful creator beings. And it's time to draw the line there. You know? Enough. It's my consciousness, and I'm going to own my consciousness. And so whatever happens, I'm going to own that, and I'm going to allow it to be healed. I'm not going to stay in the war zone. I'm going to go up those stairs. I've hit that wall, and I'm going to go up the stairs. I'm going to choose love. I'm going to open that door. I'm going to go into the unknown. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to let it go and let it go. And I'm going to love myself. I'm going to see my woundedness. I'm going to see all my emotions and all my woundedness, and I'm just going to sit with myself and love myself. Because all of those feelings are very relevant. My experiences, everything, all of it needs to be processed. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be owned. It needs to be, I need to love myself and love myself and love myself and love myself. And that is what I'm doing. And I'm just going to continue to do that. It works much better for me. High levels of discernment, yes. I see exactly what this world is now. I've never ever been more awake than I am now. It's like critical juncture. Really, really see it. And it is horrendously painful. But that is also the point where you start to go through the eye of the needle, you see. Can't really get any more awake than that. And that is it. That's going through the eye of the needle. That is where you make that choice. Haha. I get it now. I've been playing that game. I've been allowing it to create its reality, the Matrix, through me, and I didn't even realize that I was doing it. I understand now. And it's still a bit murky, and it's still a bit wonky, and it's baby steps, the turtle and the hare. But it's all about be the hunter, not the hunted. Be powerful, not powerless. Love is powerful. It knows that ultimately we will win. Ultimately we will uncreate this matrix, and we will create the true reality, which for lack of a better word is paradise. It's magical. Anything is possible there. It isn't this stunted, limited horror story at all, where, oh, sustainability and all this crap that people come out with. It isn't that at all. You need to go from here all the way over there, you're there. That's it. There is no disease, there is no sickness, there's no old age. You live for as long as you want. If you want to have another adventure, you, have another adventure. You can do as you damn well please, because you are a creator being. It's the exact opposite of what we experience here, people. That is what reset is. It's a simple process of uncreating this and creating a new. And only love consciousness can do that. Hell consciousness cannot do a damn thing. Hell consciousness is what's created this place. If you stay with that, you will stay here. That's it. For those of us who have hit that wall in our boat, we've been through the storms, we're going through the storms right now. Then we'll hit the wall, then we go up that stairs, an elevation, understanding the revelation of truth, of the final truth, the reset, love, consciousness, clarity, power. And then through that door into the unknown. Because we have known it, but we don't remember knowing it, you see, that's the thing. So it is as if we are truly going into the unknown. And I want that now. Because I'm done with this shit. You know? I'm done with it. Guess I'll call it a day there, people. Those of you, and that includes me, I'm going through a really, really tough time. This is really, I feel this very strongly, it's par for the course, especially my two lovely friend subscribers who are going through this diverticulitis thing. What I see is implants being removed. This is all to do with your gut here. That's pivotal, very pivotal. It's to do with a massive clear out, a massive shift. And it's horrendously painful. Yeah. Many of us are suffering from all these different, and our bodies are really not feeling great. But that's par for the course, because it manifests, this virus, as it's being cleansed out, it does manifest temporarily. So bear with it, ladies. Bear with it. We're all so courageous, our soul travelers, soul warriors. It's all about the right choice now. It's all about going into the unknown, people. You know, going where no man or woman has gone before. Well, of course we have been there before, but we don't remember that. So it's like we're doing it for the first time. All my love.